Hello, gentle viewers. This is our Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 23 with the Milwaukee Brewers. This is our first episode, of course, with the new team, but it's a direct continuation of the universe that we just finished with the Houston Astros. In case you're new to the channel, I don't want people being like, "What? Wait, what's going on here?" So, in case you are new, just as a quick reminder, in this series, I am taking each team, generally from one of the worst teams, for 10 seasons, and whoever, and I try to win a World Series, and put someone close to the Hall of Fame. And I've been successful, but I've also been very unsuccessful from time to time. So, we're playing with the Milwaukee Brewers for the first time. And as I talked about at the end of last episode, we actually have a pretty solid base. We need a better center fielder. Unfortunately, we have Mr. Chet Lemon ready to be added. And it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I mean, I just can't get over this. I cannot get over George Brett and Mike Schmidt on the same team. That just blows my mind. It utterly evaporates my soul. Is it Dave May? Yeah, he is the one I got from the Dodgers. Yeah, he sucks, dudes. I guess he has gotten a little bit better. His problem was defense. So yeah, he's not a very good hitter. So he could upgrade left field too, maybe, or just kick Jeff Burrows out to the outfield, maybe. Because Burrows is real good. But anyway, yeah, we have a very strong offensive core, a very weak pitching core, and addressing both of these concerns will be the key to us being one of the better teams in the majors. So, I need to hire some coaches. I need a new bench coach. How good is my AAA manager? He is reasonably okay. I can probably do better. But let's find out. I definitely want someone who can help me with development. I've got a lot of young players. Will Johnson seems like he would be a perfect choice. Yes, Ed Hoyser is outstanding, but I also get high quality excellence in mechanics. I think this makes sense. Will Johnson, I'd like you to be my bench coach. Also need a hitting coach for AA. I'll try Nanny Fernandez. I probably won't be successful, but we can only try, right? And it's gonna be interesting. Now, we're not on free agency yet. I think that'll come at the end of next season. But that's also going to completely transform the way we play this game. Wait, $2.45 for a ticket? Was I charging like $40 as the Astros? No, I guess I wasn't charging very much for them at all. Fair enough. Okay. And we got both of them. Fantastic. That's excellent news. Let me quickly jump over to here and let's set up all of our teaching here. Johnson will teach catcher and he'll teach infield. Thuman can teach outfield and Jacobs can teach base running. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it's good enough for the moment, and I will accept that. Oh, I can't control my scouting budget. That makes sense. David Martinez is a very specific, or not David Martinez, sorry. Who's my owner? Demetrius Cook. Okay. Alright, son. Let us see what we can do. It is time for some new Hall of Famers, perhaps. Johnny Antonelli, yes please. Jackie Brandt. When we drafted him with the Dodgers, I had such high hopes for him. And I think he's been productive. But it's really hard to argue that he's a Hall of Famer. He just wasn't good enough for long enough. Which is unfortunate, but here we are. A lot of people that are just not even close. Adobe is worthy. Whitey Ford is worthy. I don't think there's any disputing that. Granny Hamner isn't necessarily a definite, but I think he comes about as close as a shortstop can. Jack Harshman can get a bit of love from me. I don't mind that. Eddie Yost. Harvey Keane, big fat no. Vern Law, big fat yes in my book. I just don't know if it's going to be good enough to get him in. Because a lot of his awards are sabermetric. He did win almost 100 more games than he lost. I think his path will be relatively smooth. I will vote for Manny Minoso. I will vote for Vinegar Ben Demizel. Pee Wee Reese. Swats. Bear Tracks. Kurt Simmons. Al Smith is really borderline to me. Like, you wouldn't cheapen the Hall if he got in because he was such a good player in so many areas. But if you're a small Hall guy, like, a man like Al Smith doesn't make your ballot. I got plenty of spaces left. I have no problem with voting for him, but I can see why another... And of course, Eddie Yost. Predictions. Whitey Ford sails in. He's the only person I feel really confident about. And then there's a whole bunch of people who could go in. This could be a very tiny class or a very huge class. I'll take that back. I'd say Vern Law is also a pretty solid bet to get in on the first ballot. Yes, he doesn't have 300 wins, but then neither does Whitey Ford. But most importantly, he has almost 100 more wins than he has losses. And he's got all the other numbers you'd like to see from a top-tier pitcher. So I genuinely think they'll both go in first ballot, and it'll be a pretty slam dunk. Beyond that, I could easily see this being a class of like 7 Hall of Famers, and I can see it being a class of 2 Hall of Famers. It just really depends on how people vote. Which I guess that's kind of a stupid thing to say, because that's obviously how Hall of Fame voting works, but here we are. Oh, this fucking problem. Yeah, I don't know why the game does this. I don't know what it is about this game sometimes where it's like, you need to sign more relievers. You really don't. You just don't. The number of times that a bad reliever or an expensive reliever will help you, at this point, it's getting more important. Like, bullpen roles are going to get to the point where we're going to definitely have to think about it, but... Okay. So Nelson Briles is a decent reliever. Pedro Garcia is a decent second baseman. Randy Hundley is quite a nice backup. And Jim Cox is whatever. I get it that my owner likes it. I get that my GM would approve of this. I don't. I'm just not that interested in Nelson Briles. And yes, you could say, but Abby, he's actually probably a starter and just needs to be given a chance. That's entirely fine. I'm not even saying I wouldn't accept that, but I am deeply concerned about any pitcher with 3 pitches where one of them is a changeup that's only rated at 21. I can see him getting exposed if we did make him a starter. So I think I'm going to pass on Mr. Nelson Burroughs. Certainly for this package, but probably for any package. Do I have any interesting... I don't need 3 catchers. That's for darn sure. A guy like Charlie Sands might be a good one to consider trading. I mean, I do have a pretty awful pitching staff. So there's going to be a lot of work to do. Regardless of what decisions we make in this offseason. We're going to have a lot of work to do. Why do we have Eric Soderholm? And why take him first overall? Like, dudes, I don't know what you expect from me. If I got George fucking Brett, I'm playing George fucking Brett. It's not even a moment's hesitation. Yeah, I'm not saying I hate Soderholm. I'm saying I don't see where he plays. I genuinely don't. I mean, we have a designated hitter. That is an option available to us. But yeah, it's just like, I don't get it. I don't get why we still have Soderholm. Like, when is he even playing? He, quite frankly, is not playing. So that is a bit of an issue. I could push him to second. Like, he's got decent range and a really good arm, but he's bad at turning double plays, so we'll see about that. We have such an incredibly deep lineup, just full of talented players from start to finish, that, in all honesty, I might play Burrows in the outfield just so I could bat Soderholm at DH. We have Dick Allen, too. Are you freaking kidding me, game? We need to get pitching. That is, for sure, we desperately need pitching. 1,000%. If we are to be anywhere near competitive in the next season or two, we gotta have pitching. We're going to see what he can acquire in the draft, but you'd best believe that some players are going to be departing from Milwaukee. That is for sure. 100%. I'll be really curious to see if we can grab a good pitcher in the 2nd or 3rd round. No, I don't need a mediocre second baseman. Thanks for asking, though. Thanks, buddy. Thanks, friend. Alright. So we have the number 2 overall draft pick. And there is a really obvious choice here, which is Chet Lemon. The only universe in which I don't draft Chet Lemon is one in which the Pirates take Chet Lemon. And if that's the case, I'd probably take Jack Clark. I mean, I definitely want Chet Lemon, not just because he was part of those amazing 80s and early 90s Tigers teams, which I've always been distantly interested in. I mean, obviously, were the Tigers in the AL West or in the AL East? They were in the AL East, so they were with Cleveland. Okay. I wasn't watching baseball a lot in those days. I was still pretty young, and I didn't really start to embrace baseball until I was already in high school. Um, but I remember really liking Alan Trammell and Lou Whitaker. And Chet Lemon. I just know the name, but he's just one of those players that you kind of had to like. Without any further ado, though, let's go ahead and just let Pittsburgh decide who they're taking. They took Jack the Ripper, Clark. I take Chet Lemon. And I instantly fixed one of the most important roles on my squad. Awesome. This is already a brilliant draft for us, taking a very real weakness and turning it into a very real strength. OSA thought I would take Willie Randolph. I don't know why. I'm not saying I dislike Willie Randolph. He's a very talented player, but he's not Chet Lemon. He's not even Chet Lime. Alright. So, we find ourselves with an interesting idea here. First things first. If we want a dominant reliever, Eck is the way to go. But the problem is our pitching is so bad that I'd rather get a really good starter rather than invest in the reliever just yet. So this leads us to Pete Vukovich, who is, if not spectacular, instantly one of the best starters on my team. And I know that's kind of damning with faint praise, but someone's got to do it, right? Someone's got to throw those innings. And Pete Vukovich can do that, as well as just about anybody else. And Eck is still around. I see why Eck is still around. He's around because he probably wants a giant signing bonus. Quite frankly, I'm willing to give that to him. I'm willing to give him that opportunity without hesitation. Who wouldn't like a guy named Dave Heverlow, honestly? We're gonna draft him. And then I'm gonna very quickly check and see if there's any secret batters left behind, as we found so frequently. Not really. It was big strikeout numbers. You know what, Sid, my friend, I will draft you. I guess this is gonna be my reliever draft. And I don't care who we take with our final pick. Okay. So we got one really fantastic player in Chet Lemon. He is lemony good. We got a very, very good starting pitcher in Pete Vukovich. I'm here for that. We got potentially an all-world reliever. He wants over 65 grand. I will give you 90 grand. And then I'll just sign these other two relievers just because we need pitching anywhere we can get it. Rule 5 time. Is there anybody, any position I could target in the Rule 5 that would make a difference? So first things first, let's go position by position and decide who's going to still have their job next season. Chico Ruiz. No. He is... No. Just no. If I can get any decent shortstop, I will be disposing of him quite quickly. Dave May, I think his value to this team is significantly less. Because it's not going to start, not when I have players that need positions more. Sixto Lezcano, why the fuck isn't he starting? You're damn right he is. Jeff Burrows, again, pretty much a no-brainer. I might put him out in left. I'm not sure. But he will find a job on this team. Gene Tennis. Yes and no. He's not a brilliant catcher, but he's good enough. And he's a very good hitter. So I don't dislike him, but I might bump him down the line a bit. George Brett, yes. Mike Schmidt, almost definitely. I can't foresee a future where Mike Schmidt isn't in the everyday lineup, but I don't know what that actually looks like right now. Don Buford is a wet fart. I see nothing positive about him. I'll probably try to get rid of him. And we're already replacing Melendez. So, all this is to say, if I can get a quality position player in the Rule 5, I'm going to take him. I also don't think I'm going to get a quality position player in the Rule 5. I just don't think that's an option for us. I am just highly, highly dubious that anyone will expose anybody to the Rule 5 that we might actually want. Players that don't have a role that definitely should is Eric Soderholm. Soderholm. I just don't know where he played. I don't know where he played. Oh, he played third base? Then where did George Brett play? Oh, did George Brett DH like most of the season? What the fuck? Why? Why would you make him DH? That is super bonkers. So no thank you. George Brett will be starting, thanks. So, in the quest for better pitching, I see one position we have way too much at. I don't need 3 first basemen. I don't. Dick Allen, as much as I like him as a player, is not a good fit for this team. He doesn't have enough raw talent to keep on the team. Good power. Very good power. But at this point, he's basically playing as only pinch hitter. And that's just not a good use of a roster spot when we have so many other areas to correct. So, Mr. Dick Allen, I would like to trade you for a starting pitcher, if I might. And I'm being offered one pitcher who is pretty bad. Can I get any player for Dick Allen? Okay, if I take a starting pitcher out, I can actually get some other positions here. So second base and shortstop could definitely use some upgrades. Julio Gote. He's just not a good hitter. And while I don't necessarily expect to see the finest position players in recorded history, I need some offense. Severino is whatever. Ron Hansen's a decent hitter. I just wouldn't trust him to play. What if I offer Cusick too? And let's see if this changes it. Okay, now I'm actually getting offered for starting pitching. This is a significant improvement. Jose Cardinal in left field will look awfully nice, but I'm going to deliberately ignore him just to keep things a bit more interesting. I mean, Jim Longberg would be an awfully tasty acquisition. I wonder if I could get Longberg and Ellis. Let's be greedy. Let's get Tom Seaver. I'm joking. I'm not going to get Tom Seaver. I can try at least, I guess. George Brett for Tom Seaver is semi-intriguing. If I offered you Soderholm. No, that's only someone else I don't want to give up. Okay. But I bet I could probably get Doc Ellis and then give him some of that LSD he used. They want a little bit more. I will happily offer something a bit more. You want Jim Cox? You can't have him until I check the others out. Yes, please take to draw off my hands. Okay. Excellent start to remaking our pitching staff to be not bad. Well, less bad. Like, Doc Ellis is instantly my number 3 starter. Jim Longberg is instantly my ace. That's pretty good in terms of making a significant upgrade. Other positions I need help at include second base and shortstop. I will check shortstop and see if anybody's eager to get rid of one. But I got a feeling the shortstops are going to be available are going to be pretty trash. I could bring Al Downing in. That's hilarious. There must be something about him that people just can't stand. I like you, but not for not being able to play you, though, is the issue. Ike Brown, no thank you. I'd probably go after Ed Brinkman, but I don't want to trade too much with the A's. I don't want him to get sneaky on me. Don't get sneaky beaky. Yeah, shortstop is the most obvious hole right now. I could move freaking Eric Soderholm to shortstop. I'm not saying I'm gonna, but that is awfully tempting as a way to get him into the lineup while also improving the team as a whole. And I know he wouldn't be one of the best shortstops. That fact is not lost on me. But he's also, quite frankly, a position that I already have too much at. And I think moving him to shortstop, if he can even be league average, is going to be drastically better than Chico Ruiz. I mean, I don't think there's any disputing that. There is no situation in which Eric Soderholm is not significantly better than Chico Ruiz at shortstop. There just isn't. Chico Ruiz offers nothing. He is a player of no value. Sorry, friends, thumbs the brakes. Yeah, Peter Vukovich will almost certainly also make the opening day rotation, so really starting to get a decent starting pitching staff. Not ideal, but still pretty solid. I will look at all players, and I will hit auto draft. Until Bobby Knoop is an excellent defender who can't hit his way out of a paper bag. What do I currently have at second base? Someone who can hit his way out of a paper bag but can't defend. Oh God, he's awful. I will take Bobby Knoop, or however you'd like to call him. For a very important fact, if I'm playing a subpar defensive shortstop, I need a really good second baseman. And I think he can fill that role. So I will definitely take you in the Rule 5. And then I'm just going to complete the draft. I could have taken Luis Alvarado. Maybe I should have. I didn't think of that. Oh well. Okay. Okay, everybody signed. Incredible. Who made the haul? Was it a tiny class or a giant class? It was medium sized. Good news is Bear Tracks got in. I actually thought he wouldn't make it. But yeah, a lot of people didn't make it. Which is fine. Like I said, look how many people have gotten 60% of the vote or more. I think we're going to keep seeing pretty big classes going on here. Good for Bear Tracks. I'm glad that Johnny Schmidt's made it. That is a good thing, my friends. A good thing indeed. Meh. You do not interest me at all. Let us use the trade needs interface. I would like a shortstop, please. I would like him to be good. I don't need outfielders. I'm not saying he's a bad outfielder, certainly not. But I think they think I need a center fielder, and we all know I already have one in Chat Lemon. No. Let's real quick bump Chat Lemon up to the Major League roster because he's gonna go there anyway. I'll also promote Pete Vukovich and Dennis Eckersley. You're all guaranteed Major League roster spots. The reason I'm doing this is so that teams stop offering me things I don't actually need. So that is what I'm doing there. Nope. Mm-mm. You think Dave Chalk might fit our needs? Nope. I don't dislike him. I think he's a very well-rounded player. I also don't think he's a shortstop. So, good try, Mr. Assistant General Manager. I need you to find me someone better, though. I'm not saying it's unreasonable. I'm just saying I don't think that's what I'm looking for. You are offering me a bad reliever. Game. Game. Okay. Now, Frank Waite would be an interesting choice. He doesn't have a great arm, but he's a good hitter, and he plays second base, which is a position I need help at. But in return, you're getting Jack Bellingham and a reliever. Like, Frank White is infinitely better than Bobby Knoop. And this way I can use Knoop as more of a... Yeah, I'm going to do the trade. Am I, though? If I get rid of Jack Bellingham, who fills the rotation spot? I mean, I guess I've got a few choices, right? Like, Jack Bellingham is the second best pitcher on my team. And he is really good. I gotta do it. I've got to do it. Frank White is too clear an upgrade. It just makes us too much better to let a starter block it. Chris Spire would absolutely fit my bill. And I also know there's almost no way in the 7 hells that Cleveland would ever consider it. I'll offer you Eric Soderholm. Yeah. I appreciate the love, Assistant General Manager. I do. And I just want you to keep looking. Somewhere between Spire and the other guy, Chalk. If you could do that for me, that would be great. I don't want a new outfielder. I just don't. I've got tons of options in the outfield. I do not lack for outfielders. Let's consider Robin Yount. Yeah, that would be an amazing deal. We're not going to get Robin fucking Yount. Oh my god. Game. Yeah. This just in, Robin Yount, pretty good baseball player. I'm not going to do this, but let's say I offered up Soderholm and Burrows. No. And nor should they, right? This is not me getting mad at the AI. This is, you would have to be the stupidest human being in the history of Major League Baseball to give up a talent like Robin Yount. Like, even for 1 second, the idea that somebody might not want him on their rotation just boggles my mind. The mind, she is boggled. Heaver, though, you can also get a spring training stuff. Bench coach, give me all of the spots. No, see, my strategy is foolproof. I'm going to play 9 third basemen. It's going to be all third baseman all the time. It's going to be great. Every position of third baseman. Fred Norman. Doc Ellis got better. George Brett got better. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Well done. Okay. So, my dear friends, let us set up our roster. First things first, I have 17 pitchers. Let's drop that number down to 12. So, Bonikowski, Cardinal. Your services are no longer required. Goodbye. Manny Muniz, terrible. Tom Murphy and Denny Riddleberger. Goodbye. And Fred Holdsworth can go to the minors. This gives me a pitching staff of 11 pitchers. I don't want 11. I wanted 12. Alright, fine, Holdsworth. You can stay in the big leagues. Oh, no, you can't. I gotta get rid of the position players first. Haha. I'm gonna trade Charlie Sands. I don't need a third catcher, and this should hopefully get me something of very high quality, I hope. I'd settle for a really good utility infielder. I don't think we have one of those right now. I will happily take Dan McGinn. I will happily turn a third catcher into a genuinely quite nice reliever. And then I can get rid of, what's his face? I'll send down Huberlow. Okay, I have way too many outfielders. Just entirely too many outfielders. Cap Peterson is genuine, just bad. I wouldn't mind Dick Sharon as a backup outfielder if we can find him a spot on the roster. Luis Melendez, for better or worse, is the closest thing I have to a reliable backup center fielder. So, he can stay. Oh, Dave May's actually a decent center fielder. I'd rather have him than Melendez, so Melendez can go to the minors. Posada and Zisk are kind of the same player. Zisk being a little bit more well-rounded with the bat, and Posada being super old. So goodbye, Posada. How many almost second basemen does one team need? That's a question best left for the philosophers, but we certainly don't need Tommy Helms. I don't know why I clicked shot play around, because no one's going to want a 33-year-old who is just not good. Nope. Yeah, nothing would ever possess me to play you in the field ever, Don Buford. Somebody else can take your 38-year-old ass and find something to do with you. Because it ain't going to be playing on my Major League Baseball team. Alright. So, Mr. Dan McGinn, you may happily be a middle reliever. How do I only have 11 pitchers? I could have sworn I had 12. So long, Walt Bond. Thanks for playing. Oh, because I never called up Holdsworth. That was my other idea, was to call him up. There we go. Mr. McGinn, you're actually really good against both. What about you, Mr. Freeman? You're pretty bad against both. So yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Rotation works for me. I don't love Bill Castro as like our dominant closer. I'd much prefer Dennis Eckersley. But I think we're going to act one season just to build up his stamina. And then we'll see how you do. Alright. Our very best pure hitter is not the player you think it is. It is really easy to see this lineup and think it's George Brett. However, George Brett's plate discipline concerns me. If we're going to make him the focal point of our offense, and I see no reason not to, I don't think it makes sense to make him the number 3 hitter. Or even the number 2 hitter. Okay, number 3 hitter is going to be Jeff Burrows. And I think we stick him in left field. Right? Then who DHs? If he's in left. I'll worry about that in a second. Then again, So I have my three best hitters are Lezcano, Burrows, and Brett. My next 3 best hitters are Tennis, Schmidt, and Soderholm. Those are 2 triads of players with almost the exact same skill sets. Which is pretty crazy, I know, but that just happens to be what it looks like. I don't want Chet Lemon to hit leadoff yet. I think he's going to get there, but I think it's asking too much of him right now. So who hits leadoff? I've only got one on base guy who also hits for contact, and that would be either Mr. Lezcano or Mr. Burrows. Both of them have ridiculous power. But I'll be honest with you, I don't mind them hitting higher in the order. So I'm going to have Lezcano hit and lead off and play right field. Next up, I will hit George Brett, where he can make the most of his plate appearances and do bodily harm to baseballs. Hitting third is Jeff Burroughs, and Jeff Burroughs is going to play left field. We're going to see how that works out for us. Okay, batting cleanup. Is probably Gene Tennis. Or is it Mike Schmidt? I think it's Tennis, then Schmidt. This is where Chet Lemon slides in. He's going to be batting 6th and playing center. Then we have Mr. Soderholm batting 7th. Frank White hitting 8th. And then who plays DH? Well, who's the best overall hitter that doesn't have a position yet? It's probably Richie Zisk. So I think it's what I'll do. I think I'll have Zisk play DH just because someone has to do it. Go ahead, what you want to do here is fine. And then go ahead and give me a depth chart based on this lineup. You're not playing Nope every other game. That is not a thing that will happen here. Okay, my friends, let us begin playing baseball games. Y'all can go and find a new team. Oh, really? I hate that so much. No thanks. Chico Ruiz is going to retire. How tragic. Okay, Chet Lemon, I really don't like that you're developing all these issues this early in your career. I don't want to be too good. This isn't like this roster can't win the World Series, I don't think. I don't think that's a fair thing to ask of them. But if I someone made the playoffs, I'd probably just be insane. Good old Don Mincher. Got his 2000th hit. Who did you play? Didn't you play for me at one point on one of my teams? No, he's been a New York Yankee through and through. Okay. That's fine. Not gonna look at any stats. Doesn't matter right now. Let's play through a bit larger. No, Dave May, you are not a starter. You are a very useful reserve. That is the sum total of your... Oh my god, Chet Lemon, what the fuck? What is your dang problem, my dude? I swear to God, if he ends up with a fucking career-ending injury, I will not be happy. Dave, may you get your damn wish. You can go ahead and play center field now. I swear, if I just lost him for his entire career, I will be extremely salty. You have no idea how salty I can be when I am pressed. Because it really concerns me that it says timetable for return is question mark. Oh, that's a bizarro world universe right there. Alright, my friends, let us take a look at our team and figure out how the hell we're 32-18. We aren't just a good team, my friends. We're the best team in the American League. Arguably, the best team in the majors, save the Cardinals, if you consider losses to be as important as wins. That's pretty bonkers. And we're doing it by simply bludgeoning our opponents into submission. We're getting an awful lot out of our offense in a lot of ways, and that's very good news. Our pitching isn't great, but it's been good enough, and our bullpen is frankly terrifying. This is all extremely good, and it's very encouraging, and I'm all happy, and it's not going to last. It's not going to last. I don't want to be that guy, but it's true. I'm not saying Mike Schmidt is the problem. Mike Schmidt is definitely not the problem. But if Mike Schmidt is only going to hit in the 200s, he's got to be cranking 20 to 30 homers a year. He has to, in order for him to be a valuable player. 2 WAR is not nothing, and it shows how valuable walking a lot is, and still hitting some power. But we'd like to see him kick it up a notch, right? I think a healthy Chet Lemon would really bring balance to the balance to the lineup. I think that would be a very positive thing to see. Soderholm is not playing well. He's a bad shortstop. So this then creates a new opportunity. Like, Richie Zisk is certainly not a perfect player. Get a shortstop and move Soderholm to DH. And I think it's got a lot of merit to it. It might be the single thing we could do to just completely transform this defense, so we're not basically the current Phillies. Because, as long as Loscano, Brett, and Burrows are all, terrifying baseballs at a ridiculous pace, there's almost nothing we can't do. If I had a really good leadoff hitter, I would bump Loscano down, but I also don't care, because he's amazing. So, let us try to acquire ourselves a new shortstop. Shall we? That's hilarious. The only shortstop that's on the trade report is the one I've already got. Game. I mean, Don Kessinger is a better shortstop than Eric Soderholm. Let us do find a player, search all leagues, hitter, shortstop, minimum defense of 50. Can we get Bill Russell from the Angels? Probably not, but let's at least check. Okay, he's willing to talk, which is more than other teams have. But I'm not giving up any one of those three players. They're too important to the team to get Bill Russell. Why don't I just offer up Eric Soderholm, you idiot? That's an idea. No, I don't want to give up Eric Soderholm if I don't have to, though. Who would be a good trade chit, I wonder? You know what? I will trade Soderholm. He's the only player I have that's remotely marketable and might get me what I need, which is a quality shortstop. I mean, Mark Bellinger fills that role quite spectacularly. What the hell? Oh, because it matches my team needs. Oh, I see. Oh, that's a very cool feature. I didn't realize that existed. That's awesome. Yeah, Eric Soderholm, I like you a lot, but I need a player like Mark Bellinger. He is more important to this team. To our life as a baseball franchise. I'd rather just let Richie Zisk continue to be our DH. I think that's very reasonable. I'm going to bat Bellinger 9th until we see how things work with him. He's not going to stay there forever, but at least for now, he's going to be there. All right, let's sim through some more time. All right, we got the Lemon back. That's wonderful news. And that's just going to make the whole team just flat out better. Mr. Lemon, I would like you to play where Dave May is currently playing. Oh, thank you for reminding me, game. I no longer need a shortstop. I'm perfectly content with Mark Bellinger. Another playoff appearance? We have made the playoffs exactly 0 times. Hey buddy, we have like all the power hitters already. Why do I care? Alright. Assistant GM, I like you. You're young. You're not the worst. I will give you an extension. Scouting director, you suck. I need a better scouting director, so your services are no longer required, sir. I wish you a nice life. Alright, my friends, let us discuss our current team. We're the best lineup in the bigs, boys. We don't steal bases, but we don't need to. Our starters are not very good. These are two inescapable facts. Now, possibility number one. We kick Dennis Eckersley's third rotation. That is a stupid decision. Not happening. Don't raise the possibility again. Because right now we're being dragged to competence by our bullpen. Is there a starting pitcher on the trade market? And what would it cost us to get said starting pitcher? There's Bill Hands, who I drafted as a Dodger. He would be significantly better than most of my current rotation. You want a 29-year-old starter who can't start for Bill Hands? Yes, please. Alright, who are my long relievers? Ellis and Freeman. Freeman to the minors, Hands to the majors. Hands takes Doc Ellis's rotation spot. Wait, what? What just happened? Mike Corkins was literally pitching for me at the time. Okay. That's fine. Sorry to dick you over, Jimmy Freeman. You may in fact remain on the starting roster right now. I could use another starter. So let's at least look and see if another starter might be available. I'm not going to trade for Al Downing. Remember, I promised that I wouldn't trade for a pitcher that I just had. I mean, I could get Bill Singer back. I'm just not convinced he is... Wob. Maybe Bill Singer is the right call. What would it cost me to get him? You want Freeman? Straight up. Okay. You may be saying, wait a minute, Abby, why did you trade for him? You said you wouldn't trade for someone you already had. In my defense, I traded him, like, the year I started the game. So he never actually pitched for me. Because I thought he would never develop control. And it turns out I was wrong. He actually did develop some control. So then we're going to let Doc Ellis be our emergency starter. Because this man cannot strike anybody out. So, let's see where this takes us now. All-Star Game. Bill Castro. Very fair. Gene Tennis. Really? No George Brett. Jeff Burrows and Sixto Loscano, though. Really? George Brett, I guess they're good, is only hitting 290 now. I'm happy with him. I'd love to see a little bit more out of him for sure, but I'm still pretty happy with him. A Mike Schmidt hitting 250 is a pretty terrifying prospect for opposing teams. I dig it. Gene Tennis is at least still getting on base, so I'm not going to bump him down the lineup. Or am I? Yeah, not right now anyway. Boy, Richie Zisk has really done well as our DH. Even if I didn't expect him to be our DH. That's pretty sweet. Alright, my friends, let us proceed onwards. Offer me the Ron Theobald. He's alright. He's alright. I don't like it. I don't think it's a smart play. I like Randy Hundley as our backup catcher. Nope. Alright, that's obviously not good. You never want to see a pitcher get hurt. Well, this just means that Tom Murphy gets to pitch. Which is not the end of the world, really. I don't think it is. Okay. Is there a way to upgrade this roster to make it better suited going forward? Another starter, maybe? John Stearns is not a bad catcher, and he's a pretty good hitter. I mean, the other option would be someone like Dick Sharon. If you could play center reasonably well, I'd call you up right now. I mean, I could call you up right now anyway, because we're in 40-man mode, but I don't really want to mess with the flow of the team. So I think I'm just going to keep going for now. Unless something goes drastically wrong. I'll be right back. I need to turn the air conditioner on. I'm just going to let the sim run, though. Ooh, I've got a personal message. Well, la-ti-da. Any changes to be made? None that I can see. I think I'm pretty happy with the way things look. I mean, Gene Tennis maybe shouldn't be hitting cleanup. You know what? Let's bump up Mike Schmidt. Let's let Mike Schmidt take his true role in the offense. I literally have nobody covering center field. No wonder Chet Lemon got hurt. No matter how citrusy he may be, he is only one man. Oh dear. Hi, Dave. Well, Eck, your legend begins, my friend, as I desperately need a quality pitcher. Dan McGinn, you can go ahead and be our setup guy. You can be a middle reliever. Okay. So let's, before we do anything else, let's just take this in. Let's let it breathe a bit. What we've accomplished in this season. We took a doormat, second overall draft pick, and turned them into the best team in Major League Baseball. If you saw that coming, then, you know, consider buying a lottery ticket. Let me tell you why I'm concerned. This is why I'm concerned. Bill Castro was abso-fucking-lutely incredible this season. I probably shouldn't have made him the stopper because he threw over 100 innings. Nonetheless, he was virtually flawless. And now I gotta replace that somehow. And that ain't easy. That ain't easy. Oh, Dave Heaverlow. I don't want him removed. I want him on the playoff roster. Here we go. And yeah, I'll add Tom Murphy too, just because I definitely need him. Pitching staff. Look, the strength of my rotation is that I don't have any strengths. I am more than happy to just go ahead and run it back with a full 5-man rotation, just letting things happen as they may. That just makes the most sense to me. I don't really see too much of a point in prioritizing one starter over any other. Okay, we won the first game in extras. I dig that. Another victory. Angels get theirs back. That's fair. You can't win them all. Or can you? No, you can't. We're going to the World Series. Oh my freaking god. How? What? Huh? I mean, let me be clear. Before we play the World Series, let me be clear. I inherited a pretty damn good team. In fact, hitters 1 through 5 were already on the Brewers when I inherited it. I did completely remake the rotation. The only starting pitcher in the rotation that pitched for the Brewers last season is Fred Norman, who probably should have been replaced too, but we'll get there. I rebuilt the bullpen. I'll take complete credit for making the pitching staff reasonably good. And I did fill out the bottom half of the lineup. Well, not quite half, more than a third. The bottom 44% of the lineup. And I think most of those turned out to be good. Drafting Chet Lemon he's certainly better than what we had. We also know there's more to him, and I'm really excited to see what he can do given the opportunity to unlock his full potential. Frank White stabilized second base, but he was barely replacement level. That cannot be understated. Frank White was a bad second baseman. Richie Zisk at DH. They never gave him 600 at-bats before. I mean, they shouldn't have done this season either, but it worked out. Mark Bellinger. We give him a starting job, and he instantly gets us 4 wins above replacement. Actually, 5.3. Mark Bellinger was a borderline MVP candidate some seasons. So when I tell you that this team very much strikes me as very smoke and mirrors, with only a couple of players that could really take a big step forward, I mean it. There's still quite a bit of work to do before we're really confident about how good this team can be. Especially when only one starter was really good this season. There's a lot to be done to get us over the hump. Assuming there is even a hump to get over. Oh, okay. First of all, Jim Longberg. Hi, buddy. Jim Longberg should be World Series MVP. Let's be realistic here. He pitched 2 amazing games, and I don't think 3 homers by Jeff Burrows undercuts exactly what Jim Longberg did. No, wait. Jim Longberg threw 2 complete games, one of them a shutout. Okay, now the one of them. Yeah. One of them was a shutout. What the fuck are you on about, game? Jim Longberg is the fucking World Series MVP. I recognize he's MVP, Jim Longberg, even if maybe the game doesn't. Because they're fools, I tells ya. Fools. So... we won 98 games in the World Series. Huh. I, hmm. Huh. Um, we'll break it down in a second here. I almost completely inverted my record from last season. I did better than inverting it. Inverting it would have been 94 and 68. I won 30 more games in the World Series in my first year taking over the club. And we made money. If I somehow don't get manager of the year, I will be murdering people that got it ahead of me. Wow. I can't even say that I had much to do with it. Hank Allen? Why are you interesting? Oakland wants to get rid of Tom Seaver. Are you high? Look, let me be realistic. I can't get him. I don't have enough depth to trade from to get him. But what? I can't trade him. I'll offer you Bill Singer. How does that sound? No. Okay. So, let us talk about how the team did offensively. Sixto Lezcano had better get some MVP consideration. I mean, he did everything for this team. Who had the highest award this season? Okay, Don Money's gonna get it. Damn it. I'm not getting MVP away from Don Money. Not when he's worth 10 bloody wins. Man. Lame. George Brett. Outstanding performance. Giving him third base and letting him run with it, instead of their stupid decision to make him a DH, I think really paid off. And the really cool thing about George Brett is there is more to his game. There's another level here. There's a level where he starts hitting for more power and gives us 15 to 20 home runs a year. That level exists. How do I know that? Because he did it. He hit 30 home runs in 1 year. So yes, to say that I'm confident that George Brett will be a good player is a bit of an understatement. Jeff Burrows was downright insane. And he was not a good left fielder. Not at all. But if he's going to hit like this every season, I'll let him play anywhere he damn well pleases. I mean, 36 homers is really good, regardless of how good the player is or how they hit them. Mark Bellinger was a league average hitter and a potential Gold Glove winner at shortstop. I don't know what I expected when I traded for him, but holy shit, did we get a quality player out of it. This may have been my masterstroke. This may have been the single move that carried us into the playoffs and winning the World Series. Let me be clear. I don't expect him to hit 283 ever again in his entire life. I don't think it's going to happen. But I will take this season for sure. Mike Schmidt. Much who wants at 240, he can freaking hit 240. And be an excellent first baseman and a power hitting machine. There's another gear here too. There's the real life Mike Schmidt that pretty regularly hits 30 home runs. I know we're going to get the Mike Schmidt from 1981 that hit 316, but Gene Tennis was a bit disappointing. Chet Lemon. This is my other biggest move, and if he develops the way I predict that he will, we're going to have just a virtually perfect leadoff guy. Ziskin White for fine. Dave May was a dumpster fire. Dave May was really bad. We probably need to move on from him sooner rather than later. Pitching. This is the scariest part of this entire team, and the part that terrifies me about next season. This pitching staff is incredibly thin. It is a borderline miracle. Pray to whichever god you think would be appropriate here that we didn't have an injured starting pitcher all season. And that Dennis Eckersley stepped in and performed so well down the stretch. Dennis Eckersley was my most valuable pitcher that wasn't a starter. Other than, of course, the real unsung hero this entire season. Bill Castro, you were getting a custom fit ring because you basically dragged a subpar rotation to the promised land through something I can only consider to be witchcraft, because I don't know how somebody can strike out so few people yet be such a good pitcher, but here we are. Jim Longberg was an amazing transaction. He gave us a frontline starter, a borderline Cy Young guy, and he basically won us the World Series by himself. Bill Hands didn't actually pitch that well for us, but gave us another credible starting pitcher. Bill Singer, another credible starting pitcher. Did I ever have Bill Hands? I drafted him with the Dodgers, didn't I? So technically, if you want to invalidate my title here, but I honestly didn't remember that he played for me as part of the Dodgers. I thought he got drafted after I left the team. But I didn't go out there and grab every ex-Dodger, so I still feel so vindicated. Fred Norman gotta go. He can't be a starter with an important role on our next team, so a starting pitcher will be very important to acquire. But I'm out of words. My words are gone. I genuinely don't know how this happened. I would have been utterly elated if we would have finished 500. And boy, if you think we're going to win the World Series again next season, you clearly have more faith in me than I do. Holy shit, my friends. Holy shit. Well, on that note, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already, so you can catch new episodes of OOTP every Monday and Friday. Comments are always appreciated. Maybe you can convince me that we'll go back to the World Series again, that this wasn't just a perfect storm. But for now, I'd like to thank you very much for watching, and until next time, this has been Guardian, and I bid you good day.